Okay, so I'm gonna show you some Lara showcase. So I did make a brand new Lara and did the whole pre-quest. All you get is a turn to town skill. First job we have Essence Sprinkle, which is your main mobbing skill. Kind of like a mini Big Bang. It starts off small, but mine's kind of big because it upgrades as you get more job advancements. Next up, Jump for Joy is your flash jump. Leap up is your vertical jump. No cooldown on this one. But you can go up and then flash jump only. You can't flash jump and then use the skill afterwards. Next is Mountain Kid. This one spawns when you just attack enemies. This one is a passive. And Peerless Mountain is a toggle. It's pretty much your magic guard. Second job, we have Dragon Vein Reading. It's a toggle, and these spawns the veins on the map. So I walked into this map and they spawn veins. But see, if I take it off, no more veins. Next, we have Dragon Vein Eruption. You pretty much just walk up to a vein, and then you'll start using the skills here. These three skills: the sun, water, and the wind spirit. They do different things. The water spirit is like a static summon. The wind just does a constant AoE attack. It's pretty wide too. You can see it hits like pretty high and pretty wide. Next we have the sun. He explodes and leaves like a bowl of lava like everywhere. And he sets out like homing little balls. Then mountain seeds. It's these little guys running around. Little kids. Make sure you right click it to turn it on. Comes off like this. But you know it's on when it has the A on it. A for auto. Then of course we have your mastery and then your booster. And this one is a passive. Third job. So this one is your portal skill or river skill. Summon a river. I like the starting point first. So I'm gonna start it here. Then it has a pretty far range, but it's not like super far. And the vertical range is not as far as the horizontal range. So there, I'm at the river, you just press the button. First spot you place it at, where it starts, and then you press up on it and you go to the next one. You can imagine that when you're flowing through the river, you're in iframe, you won't get hit at all. And this only works in normal maps, it does not work in bossing maps. And you can still attack while you're in the river. Summon spirits. Up we have the wind one, which is, it gives you attack speed. You find a wind vein, like right here, and then you press the skill. And you need to be inside this aura to get the buff, but you can walk away. You still have it for a while. Then next up we have the sun one, which is the damage one. Same thing. You want to use these together. But they have the same cooldown, so got both. You'll see it up here. Then you're good to go. So it's a minute cooldown for both. And it lasts 2 minutes for you. For your party members, it only lasts 20 seconds. So you kind of want to repop it constantly or time it kind of within further bursts. Pickup call, it sends out a whole bunch of homing arrows. But you need to be near a vein and it'll consume it. It doesn't matter which color, it's a homing arrows. And the cooldown is pretty short. Next up, we have Dragon Vein Traces, which is your TP skill. This TPs you to the nearest vein. If you want to choose one, like let's say I'm in the middle, press the directional button and then the scale. So if I want to go up, and there you go. Also damage around you too. So let me go left, and then let me go right. Pretty far, but you need to be like somewhat close to TP towards it. Then these three are just passives. So fourth job, we have Dragon Vein Absorption. So you absorb the Dragon Vein, and you also absorb the Spirit, but also get knocked back when you absorb. You also get some final damage with it. So what you do is you just use a skill on a vein. I normally just get one of each. So Sun, you'll see it swirling around you. Wind, and the water. And when you attack, they'll attack too. See, he's attacking. Sun's attacking. I mainly use this skill in bossing. Have like super stance. And these three skills are just upgraded versions of the second job skills. Next we have Dragon Vein Conversion. So you walk up to a vein and you can change the spirit of it. So this one's a water one. Press the skill and you can change it to either sun or earth. And there's a cooldown on this. And now it's a sun. Then I can use it. One is a passive. Also a passive. And this one is your defense skill. You just hold it down and you'll be like super tanky. Minus 55 damage taken. So you just hold it down, get reduced damage. Also, the longer you hold this down, the longer it takes to come back up. This is not an iframe. You can still die while holding this down. Then we have your Maple Warrior. The Animal Warrior. Then wills, and passives. So fifth job, you have Lance Connection, which is your burst. It just does a ton of line and takes up your whole screen. Also, something to mention is it is not an iframe even though you're blinded, like other classes are. So here's the skill. Pretty cool. Next we have Searching Essence. So this one has a really short cooldown and it does quite a bit of damage. So it looks like this. Pretty big AoE, lots of lines, big stretch. This one you want to have 5 mana veins near you or dragon veins near you, and then each vein you proc sends out 5 arrows. So 5 times 5 is 25. That's 25 arrows you're shooting out. You can tell how many veins are near you that'll activate. If you see the skill here, also on your buff bar, it'll tell you how many veins are near you. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and go to this hyper. So this one spawns a vein and you can consume it, but you cannot change it. So it plays in with this skill, the big stretch. It says 4, but max is 5. What I normally do is use this unconstrained dragon vein, summon one more. That turns to 5, and then you just use it. Lastly, we have Winding Mountain Ridge, which is pretty much like the Sickness Night skill, where it has like a summon that pushes enemies around, but it spawns a bunch of golems. You can kind of see them. Okay, now for the trios. So your trios are Essence Sprinkle, Dragon Vein Eruption, and Dragon Vein Absorption. Then next trio is Mountain Kid, Mountain Sea, and Wake Up Call. That's all you need. Also, something I want to mention is the Lotus Flower. So how this works is, it's almost like a door. You only want to use it when you're actually gonna die, or think you'll die. So if you summon it and you don't die within the frame, this will reset to a lower cooldown. But if you do die, it'll be like a half an hour cooldown. So when you die, what happens is you spawn right above where Lotus is, and you'll be in iframe for about 2 seconds, and that's it. Also, if you spawn this in Lotus P1, then phase it to P2 without dying, this will not carry over. You'll just lose it, and it'll count as you dying or consuming it. Back to the hypers. You have Vein Coil, which is your bind, and the last skill is Arbor Away, which is part of your burst. So when you use the skill, you have knockback resist, and it also gives you boss damage and crit damage. So it looks like this. This is a BGM that plays when you're inside of it. So I'll take this, so you don't get knocked back when you use a skill, either absorbing or erupting them, or summoning them. Then I'll take Wake Up Call, so you can kind of use it more often. And Essence Sprinkle, your Marvel skill when you don't have anything else up. So boss damage here, eruption, absorption, just boss damage, and just damage. Pretty much Lara. I'll upload some other bossing videos in the future. Hopefully this helps. I'll see you guys in the next video.